Go.
Hey, look who's back.
Hey, Mike's back. Happy to have him here. Welcome back. We're doing the BFL Show Week 9 Rivalry Week.
Let's go. Some of the matchups don't look like rivalries so much, but we'll get into that later.
It's division matchup time. Anything can happen, sort of. All right. Hey, 2 in a row for Drew on the biggest blowout of the week. He's heating up. He's heating up at the right time.
He is. A couple weeks ago in the poll, you and me and Phil were kind of discussing, and I was saying how I was higher on him and lower on Brigadiers than you guys. But both of those teams look good right now. But Drew's scary good. His lineup is full of star power.
If you were NBA Jam, he'd be on his second 3-pointer in the row. He is heating up.
He texted me yesterday and said, he said one good thing about besides winning for me is he said I outscored you by 1 point for biggest blowout of the week. LOL.
Oh, nice.
My point differential was 300.05.
That's awesome that you guys are doing that math. That's awesome. Well, I was losing, so I was not doing that math. Excellent. Moving forward, and I think I call that a legit blowout. If you hit 620 points, Goody broke 300. It's not like he put up a 250. Anyway, let's go forward here. Bang, 8-0. What's that feel like?
It's good. It's good, and the waiver priority number 1 right now. I mean, Chase Edmonds looks like he's going to get a shot at RB1 this week. My first round pick trade for Dalvin Cook paid off instant dividends. So,
I would say so.
Ride the wave as long as I can.
Ride that wave. Okay, cool, nice. So I was thinking that if you go undefeated, I would go ahead and sponsor. I'd go ahead and sponsor this for you. If you put undefeated balls first down there, something like that.
I can't put balls first too close to my balls.
No, that's what I would have you do. I think that'd be perfect. And then maybe we could go with the swirlies on the bicep too, just for fun.
I don't want to do any of those things.
I'd recommend the left nipple ring, not the right. But anyway, moving forward.
I would like the symmetry of the 20 and the 20 on either side of the logo.
Right. And actually, and it wouldn't be a dolphin. It would be testicles, right? So, or footballs. I don't know.
I would take sponsors to have people volunteer their testicles to be what gets tattooed.
Ooh, gotcha. Just real quick NFL stuff, but this ties directly into some things that have happened in fantasy. Dalvin Cook was just a machine. Led you to a big win. Phil, I believe, is struggling right now. He's not in a great place with Lamar playing the way he is. I read someone's take on him was that the Ravens are one of the biggest teams that missed the offseason so much. There was complaints that the Ravens didn't make a move at the trade deadline for a receiver, but then someone responded to that take. They're actually really, really missing their second tight end. They're missing Hayden Hurst. So I don't know why Baltimore's struggling while Lamar Jackson's struggling. I still think they're a darn good team, but he's not.
I look at no further than Mark Ingram. He's been non-existent this year. He's been a horse for them. 1,000-yard guy. They're built around power running, and I don't know. It's just not working out. I don't know if the league has figured him out, if he's trying too much to do too much. Either way, they still got a good team, and nobody's going to sign up to want to play them in the playoffs. That's for sure.
Right on.
Drew Lock.
Yeah, Drew Lock.
That was quite a comeback.
That was fun. I'm a Vic Fangio fan, so I have a soft spot in my heart for Denver. And then Josh Allen, Dom's team is kind of in a tailspin right now too.
Yeah.
and he started the year so hot, and now just he's not scoring the way he had been. Those first couple games.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Courtesy of the Ringer. We give them props because I like that art. Really, really quick. So, Zendejas Award goes to Ryan Suckup of Mustache. Interesting. He was the biggest blown out, so he was on the bad side of the biggest blowout. But Suckup definitely played his role. Now should we take a quick look at the Parkey Award? See if we see any trends here. So this week, Matt Prater, Mr. Blankenship, and Jake Elliott with 2 points. Let me kind of make Mike. What do you notice here?
I see 4 Elliott's. It doesn't seem like that hard of a move to just swap out kickers.
So we've literally played 8 weeks of fantasy football. Jake Elliott has been the lowest started kicker in half the weeks. I had to teach 5th grade last year, which is nowhere near what I want to do with my life. And one of my biggest fears was that they would make me at the end of the school year give I don't know if sometimes schools make you give bullshit awards to kids who don't deserve it. So every kid in your class gets an award. And I had no interest in doing that. And it's one of the only good things about COVID is I didn't get to the end of the year, so I didn't have to do that. But if I were to give Kyle an award at the end of the year, it would be most loyal to bad kicker. That's the award I'd give Kyle.
I also see Dom. I see Dom's on there 3 times, but I'm still the only one with a negative. So. I'm the only one that's ever taken my skate off and tried to stab somebody.
Nice. So, keep it going, man. White Thunder. Let's see how many times you can get on there. I don't know. Hey, he could turn it around and have 4 weeks in a row in the Zendejas category. Could be.
It's true.
All right. Pushing it ahead. Sorry, I keep moving around our picture. I got to work this out here. Just some standings checks. We have 4 regular season games left. Artillery division.
We have 6.
We have 6 games left. JK. There's
4
worries. Division. We have 6 left. Sheesh.
We play each division team twice.
We do. 6 weeks left makes it a lot better. So Mike, you've got a 3-game lead with 6 left. Holy moly.
Can't ask for much more than that.
Just to kind of look at here's kind of a weird thing. I had too much free time. You see how your record is 8-0-0, 0-0-0, 4-1. So anyway, I called that phone number 800-000-4100.
Okay.
And it was messed up. What happened? What the person that picked up? I'm not even gonna talk about it. But that's true. It's just messed up, dude. It's messed up. So anyway, you're in division with the guy who
can't lead me down that road.
You're in a division where the guy has the worst kicker, 4 weeks in a row, and then Nate threw in the towel.
He did.
Nate threw in the towel over the weekend. So,
he's trying to make some moves, which is the right thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I took a tight end off of his hands. But so I mean that kind of makes it's a 2-horse race. When do you play, Drew? Next week?
Next week.
Dang, yes.
Chiefs are on a bye.
Oh my God, the luck. I'm not gonna say the luck word, but well played, schedule makers.
The ride the wave. That's all I can say.
Ride the wave. Brigadier's Brigade is sitting strong. What kind of precarious with the precarious lead here in the cavalry?
Withers is not going away, is he?
He's not. He won't go. He just won't. I mean, 3 in a row. He's got a nice win streak. So he has the 3rd longest win streak in the league right now. The 3,700 points is really strong. So yeah. Withers is a problem right now for Brigadiers, and we'll see what happens when we get to the matchups. I'm not going to call it for any of the teams. Although I bet Ben wishes he had Dalvin Cook still. He didn't need him last week, but I bet he could be a factor later on in the year. Too bad Ben doesn't have him anymore.
Yeah, I mean, of course I think that, but I still think it was the right call overall. I don't think he's got you know, Dalvin's not going to score 160 every week. Could he play spoiler? Potentially, sure, but he's still looking uphill at some better teams. And then only one wild card, and even if Drew catches me and wins the division, you know, I'm still 3 ahead of the wild card too. And then your tiebreakers points. Me and Drew are running away with that. So it would be really, really, really tough for him to even crack the playoffs. And that's going to stink for cavalry because if Nate's selling and, you know, Kyle's already sold, me and Drew are going to have 4 wins and then take each other out. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. So the wild card's probably coming from artillery. It just is. So it's going to come down to who can win the division and the cavalry. I believe
that's kind of the name of the game for infantry. Also, is the division race here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and speaking of not going away, Seth's not going away. Rogers to Adams is lethal. So you know,
yeah, for sure. And it's crazy to see Seth. A 2-game winning streak, and look at the running backs he's been playing during that winning streak. He hasn't had Miles Sanders. He hasn't had Mostert, and he's like you said, it's Rodgers and Adams. It's pretty awesome.
For sure.
Dom's parade has been officially canceled, and now we're kind of in a let's look in the mirror and grab our testicles and squeeze to see what kind of person we are moving forward here these next 6 weeks. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
There you go. So Steel Reserves are 3-5. I've had a few people approach me, but I'm not selling at this time. I
don't think you should, because I really don't. Like Dom, if anything, like if you want to break down position by position, I'd say you have more guys trending in the right direction than either of the 2 ahead of you. It's division play. You can make up ground so fast right now. So amazingly at 3-5, you're still right in it. So
let's see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So matchups. Dun dun dun. It is rivalry week. We have our division matchups. This is very, very exciting. Sure. Let's start at the top.
Okay.
I've been waiting for this matchup. It is a darn shame that I lost to Ben last week, because this game, you know, if I could have won here, it'd been real exciting. We'd have been in a virtual tie for first. Our projected points are super even. I'm probably going to slide my new tight end that I got from Nate, Mr. Hurst, in, because I think he's going to get more looks than Ebron, with Calvin Ridley a little bit banged up. Like you said, my players are trending in the right direction. I'm nervous Josh Allen will have a Josh Allen game. It's an exciting game here. So I feel lucky that Dom has Zeke going against the Steelers. I think the Steelers are the team to avoid. And Michael Thomas is a big wild card. He's playing Sunday Night Football, and who knows what is on that dude's mind, and who knows how that dude's ankle is. So I'm excited, and I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I have a ton of notes on your guys' matchup. I think it's the most intriguing, the most far-reaching. It sucks about Kittle. I'm sorry, man. The broken foot. Probably the rest of the fantasy season for sure.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that blows. For Dom, I got, you know, Josh Allen. His team is gone as Josh Allen is gone. I think for fantasy purposes, I think he hopes J.A. tucks it and runs it a little bit more. He is a very capable runner. That's when he's putting up big points, is when he's pounding in the end zone. Calvin Ridley, very iffy this week. He's questionable. I would lean more towards doubtful the way it's sounding right now. He's not practicing at all right now. Zeke, man, is anybody struggling more from Dak being hurt than I got Amari Cooper, but Zeke has not cracked 100 yards all year. He has less than 20 fantasy points in 3 straight games for the perennial top 5 pick. That's terrible. And then CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, last 2 weeks, 8 carries, 6 carries. You know how many rushing TDs he has this year? And which is what you want from a donkey dick running back. He has 2.
He's got to be. Let's downgrade him from donkey dick status.
I think so, and they seem to want to get Le'Veon in the mix, and that's fine for them. But they're letting Mahomes do his thing. I do for him. It looks like Michael Thomas is going to play finally. Like you said, who knows what he's going on mentally? Hopefully, because he's such a talented player, hopefully he figures it out. Also, it's not a sexy thing, but Logan Thomas has actually turned into quite a nice tight end, college quarterback, big kid, and he's actually turned into a nice player.
Virginia Tech.
For you, obviously, Kyler. But Kyler's going against a suddenly, really exciting Miami team. They're balling out on special teams. They're balling out on defense. But, Kyler's going to be Kyler. He's going to do his thing. Juju's got a nice matchup, but there's so many other nice matchups for the Steelers across the board. If I told you right now he'd get 9 targets, you'd be pretty happy with that, and you would think he could do something with them, I think, right?
Oh, yeah.
McLaurin, I talked about him a few weeks ago. He's been a target machine, been very nice, steady player all year for you. Definitely the wide receiver one there. After I pretty much wrote off James Robinson, he's been shoving it in my face. Zach Moss, holy crap, he came on strong, getting all, what did he get, 14 carries, getting the goal line work. That's you got to be excited about that. One note of a personal, I don't watch film, all right? I don't. I know I follow Twitter accounts that do and everything, but just from what I've seen, I don't think there's a better middle linebacker in the league than Eric Kendricks right now. I really don't. That guy is he's always in the right spot, and it's unreal how he can cover. Because he doesn't look like a guy that'd be super fast. You know what I mean? But he is unbelievable.
He's a guy. He's used his experience and his instinct. He takes the correct angles. He's not athletically, he's not getting there faster, but with his smarts and the path he takes gets him there in the right spot. It helps a lot that there's no Anthony Barr. It's shocking though that because they don't have a defensive tackle. They had a big hoss there. They had Michael Pierce, who opted out for COVID. They've had other just run cloggers in years past. They don't have anybody like that this year, so I thought he'd have trouble this year because that's what you want in front of you as a middle linebacker.
Right.
A clear path. He doesn't have that, but he's having a career year, and I think I agree with you. He's phenomenal.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nice little move for Hayden Hurst too, by the way. Look, low risk, medium reward.
I don't think I needed to give a 9, but I had that extra 9. Sometimes that's how I work. Maybe I could have gotten him for an 11th or a 12th, but I had 2 9s. So hey, take my second 9. I don't know.
Hey, let's applaud Nate. He's made 2 trades, so times are changing.
Has he been hacked? Is it really Nate? Good job, buddy. That's awesome. Yeah.
Should we go dirt balls and caddy?
We should go dirt balls and caddy. You want to kick this off? You want to talk first?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Like I said, Caddy's team is loaded with star power. It's scary from top to bottom. This week, really seems like all signs are pointing towards McCaffrey coming back. That would make, we start to find out was the trade worth it for him. you know, as good as Mahomes has been and continues to be, I think Drew's team MVP, like halfway to this point in the season, has to be Todd Gurley, who was expecting 8 rushing touchdowns from his guy. You know what I mean? He, like, early on in the season, Drew's team was like, you know, kind of, and then, like, he's kind of just got his way into a position where he could make some moves and buy. Now it looks strong, but, I mean, Gurley, you know what I mean? Who saw that coming? I sure didn't.
Yeah.
For Nate, it's like, do you remember Mike Myers on Saturday Night Live? He would do the coffee talk. And it's like he'd go. Well, anyways, I just imagine him talking about Chris Godwin. You know, he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. I'm feeling beklempt. It just, you know, he like I own him in another league, and it said like he was changed from questionable to healthy because he was a full participant in practice. Well, guess what?
He
He didn't have to catch a ball today, so
right.
it's like, and he has a broken finger, so it's like. And then he went from healthy back to questionable. And it seems like he only plays every other week. Kamara is questionable, but not really. He's going to be just fine. Fournette is going to get more carries, 11 2 weeks ago, 15 last week. Hasn't really turned it into a whole lot, but he's got Freeman in the flex spot right now. He's not sure if he's a go. I think maybe you could do the Hollywood Brown at the flex spot, and just, you know, like a boomer bust type play. And, you know, he did offer his guys up for trade, and the guys he's listing. I don't think the buyers are going to make a whole lot of moves for those guys because they're not really like, but just like something where you had an injury and you needed a plug and play. So I think that's where Nate's offers are going to come from. He doesn't have any like heavy hitters to deal, but. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cooper Kupp's the gem. The problem is, like you said, the top teams are pretty stacked at wide receiver right now.
Right.
And also, it doesn't help that Kupp's on a bye this week, so there's really not a lot of there's not a lot of incentive or direct payoff in getting him right now.
He's a keeper too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we probably just like help Nate out a lot by like declaring that to everyone, so they can he's a keeper.
But yeah, I still think obviously Caddy's favored by 100, but I still think he probably, you know, shouldn't have a problem taking it this week.
You think he's going to cover? He's going to win by 100. What do you think?
Even with 2, yep.
A hundo. Okay. I'll take Nate plus 100. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Hey, I think Drew's MVP is DK. That would be my choice for if I had to pick an MVP for Drew's team. That dude's out of his mind right now.
Okay.
And he has been all year. So.
But he like also showed the ability in the playoffs and as a rookie, you know what I mean? Like everybody was like, "Oh, DK Metcalf." So it's not like we can't say we didn't see it coming. I really didn't see Todd Gurley coming, but yeah, I'm not gonna argue.
It's so strange, and this like backs up some of you guys, because some people have been like, we have to devalue touchdowns and make rushing yards more important. Just I don't see a lot of juice out of Todd Gurley, but he so fantasy MVP wise, I guess maybe, but as a running back, I would not want him on my team.
No.
I mean, there's a reason I've had Brian Hill on my bench for a month, is that I'm just waiting for Gurley's hips to fall off. And then I'll have somebody, but who knows? It might never happen. He might keep getting those 1-yard rushing touchdowns or those 8-yard ones when he means to only go 7 yards and whatever. So, awesome. Yeah. I mean, Drew's team is so scary. Darius Leonard hasn't even like put it all together this year yet. Jamal Adams, he's got Jamal Adams on his team who hasn't been like doing anything lately, and now he's got him locked into his lineup. So, he's got Robbie Anderson. Like, yeah, this dude's ready to win it all. All right. Should we do let's do you against the Thunder.
Not much to talk about, to be honest.
Is this the projected blowout of the week?
It definitely is. And obviously he's got to change his lineup around. Both his quarterbacks on his roster have a bye this week though, Burrow and Wentz. Jamal Williams, who he's been getting some RB1 type touches from, is on COVID.
Yeah.
Finally, Jake Elliott's on a bye, so maybe Maybe he'll play a different kicker. Thank God. But the future is bright-ish, I'd say, for Kyle. You know, he's still kind of invested in the Ruggs and you know, probably what's the other wide receiver from Cincy? What's his name? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, T. Higgins.
T. Higgins. That's but Burrow looks good. Burrow looks like a building block. I'm really excited on my end. Like, I didn't want to draft Chase Edmonds. I didn't. I had 2 different running backs lined up, and you and Ryan took them both. But it caused me to scramble and start looking for that kind of deep. And I ended up with Chase Edmonds. And the more I watch him and the more I see him, like, man, it doesn't sound like Kenyon Drake's injury is as bad as originally thought. So he probably is only going to miss maybe 1 game. But so let's see if he can maximize his you know, potential and make a case to be the RB1. And then you got I think from here on out, after Jared Goff's dreadful performance against Miami, I think I'm just going to roll with Deshaun from here on out. Even with the tough matchups, I think he has the higher ceiling, the bigger, you know, potential. I'm a little worried about that, but yeah, no, this shouldn't be a contest, to be honest.
I agree with you. That's the play. I mean, look at you. Look at your lineup. You've got Thielen on the bench and Amari Cooper. Man, that's like way better than some people's starters. So that's an embarrassment of riches. Well played. I mean, you're kind of into the Brigadier's Brigade territory with, you know, kind of kicking yourself because one of those guys is probably going to blow up. But you got to hope that your starters are going to do that too.
Yeah. I love Thielen, but I don't know. I just think I think I got more potential, you know, just a safer play to go the other way this week.
For sure. Well, I mean, Keenan Allen he's a top. I think he's like a top 8 right now with Air Bear Herbert throwing him the ball. So
yeah, he's but you know, Keenan Allen just one awkward tackle away from, you know, missing some games. That's always been the problem with him, but he's looking good right now, and yeah, I was happy to get him.
No, that was a fantastic pickup. All right, should we move on?
Yeah.
The Detroit Blizzard. Let me just pull that matchup up on my little tablet here.
Okay. Versus Brigadiers.
Yeah, Detroit versus Brigadiers. Go ahead.
For Ben, Derek Carr's got to have a bounce back game this week. I didn't see much of it, but that Raiders-Browns game seemed just like a weird – what was the final, like 16-6?
Yeah,
there was a lot of weird stuff in the early games last week. I really think the time change had something to do with it. I felt weird even. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like everything was like a little off.
I agree.
And I just have a feeling like maybe that played in something to it. Like, and with all the Niners running backs getting hurt, like, why is McKinnon like getting no love? Like, what did he do to piss off Shanahan? So hopefully Jarrett gets some love this week. I talked about Mark Ingram being a disappointment. He's on his bench right now, and that's too bad, honestly. Ben doesn't have like a exciting lineup outside of Justin Jefferson, who's, you know, a threat to go big at any time. But it's not a pushover lineup either. You know what I mean? He's got a solid team out there, and he's not going to make it easy on anybody. For Brigadiers, you know, Herbert, wow. Just roll with that kid. And then I'm not going to say anything about Tyler Lockett because every time I do, he goes absolutely bananas. So, Will Fuller, obviously he was all prepared to be traded. He was in heavy rumors going to Green Bay, but then they decided not to. And you wonder where his state is mentally. But, I mean, he's playing for a contract now, right? And Deshaun has to throw to somebody. So if he gets his mind right and think, man, I'm playing for my long-term future, then, you know, Will Fuller could be set to go out and prove everybody that he's that man. For one of my notes is I had DJ over DJ I'm thinking he should play DJ Moore over DJ Dallas.
Nice.
And then if he could win this week, it would be huge to keep that gap between him and Withers, who's hot on his tail. So if that, this is actually a really low key. All these matchups for that division are going to be huge down the stretch.
Right. It's almost a must win for Ben to stay alive, to keep hope. And it would be a huge win for Ben and everyone else in that division if you could pull it off. And projections don't have him getting blown out, but obviously like Brigadiers is the favorite here. But Ben's got that type of team. Phillip Rivers has been hitting the tight ends, although they have a lot of tight ends. I think Trey Burton scored last week. Justin Jefferson against Detroit, you really like that matchup. So Ben has a chance here. Deontay Johnson might be the new Will Fuller. I heard that comparison. He's hurt every week, or he leaves early, or or he's a boom guy. And so that's crazy. I like James Conner against Dallas. I think he'll tear it up. Antonio Gibson, I love. I tried to get my hands on him from Brian, but Brian knows how good Antonio Gibson is. And then Herbert is he's a top 5 right now. He's just a baller. So, I expect Brigadiers to win. And then maybe Ben will be interested in trading away Justin Jefferson after that. No, probably not. All right. One of the games of the week here, Big Philly style against Withers. Projections are interesting. Maybe the projections see a little bounce back from Lamar because Philly style is favored over Ryan. What do you think about that?
Well, I think this is another one of those cases. Well, and then like the projections have changed from earlier. Unfortunately for Ryan, Brandon Ayuk is now on COVID IR.
That's crazy.
And
should they even play this game on Thursday tomorrow night?
I don't think so. I think early in the season, this was probably like one of your matchups that, one of your games you would circle. So I think maybe like what is it? Who's got Thursday night? CBS this year?
Yeah, I think so.
No, or Fox. No, it's Fox.
Oh, okay.
They're probably like really wanting those Thursday night ratings from this game, so maybe they're pushing because they've already had a couple canceled. I don't know. Anyways, Ayuk's been a really nice player for Ryan. Looks like he probably could be keeper. They get him the ball in a lot of ways, so that's going to hurt for him, having to find a replacement. And then if Aaron Jones can't go again, that'll be tough. But this is one of those things too where I think Ryan has a lot of guys trending in the right direction. Damian Harris has been getting the ball a lot for New England. Looks like a really good RB1. He's one of those guys I was looking at drafting before I drafted Chase Edmonds.
Yeah.
If Ridley doesn't go this week, how many balls is Julio going to get thrown his way? Holy crap. A.J. Brown versus Chicago's not a lovely matchup, but I don't hate it either. And then he's got Russ Wilson versus Buffalo, which not a great matchup, but Buffalo's given up some bigger points this year too. And then for Phil, he's got Lamar versus Indy. And I think if anybody's in a position to kind of mimic what the Steelers did, Indy could very well do the same type of thing.
Yep.
I'm worried about Ronald Jones' touches. They seem to be going down while Fournette's are going up. I'm not sure what's up with that. Hopkins is going to eat. Hopkins is going to eat this week. He's had that extra week to get healthy, and he needed it. He's going to go bananas. I was wondering, I didn't watch much of the Broncos game except for the comeback on Red Zone there, but Melvin Gordon, I was wondering about him being possibly phased out because Lindsey broke a big one last week, but he still out-touched Lindsey. Lindsey just looked more explosive. They got to find a way to get Fant a touchdown, the Broncos do. Chris Carson's not even going to try and practice until Friday, so that's going to be a tough one. And then I always have to check on freaking Blake Martinez, and once again, he scored 43 this week. It's unreal. The most consistent scorer in fantasy history.
I think Phil might slide I don't know if it'd be a good play. He might slide old Tyler Irvin into the Chris Carson spot. That might be the safe play for him.
If
Maybe get a
AJ
couple
can't
jet
go for
sweeps.
sure.
I know that the Pack aren't. I don't know what the Green Bay is going to do. Again, I think this should be pushed back to like a Tuesday game, just out of the COVID situation and just I don't want to watch these two teams banged up. I'd rather like let's get the COVID stuff cleaned up and then maybe we can watch that on Tuesday night. I don't know.
It's like Rodgers, Adams in the practice squad versus the 49ers split squad.
They're
like
second and third stringers. Yeah, exactly.
It's like a spring training matchup in baseball. It's
right. I mean, Aaron Jones, like Ryan has Aaron Jones lined up to start right now. He doesn't have a flex in there yet. I don't know what he's gonna do. Gaskin's out. That hurts. That's too bad. I mean, Ryan could go with McKissick. He has a decent floor, but his ceiling's not very high. So this is a fascinating game, and like the circumstances with COVID and the injuries make it even more interesting, even though it's kind of more painful to watch. So
for sure.
I don't even know where to go with the picks. I'd probably lean towards Ryan based on the quarterback matchups, even though Seattle traveling to Buffalo is tough. But like you said, I have a lot of respect for Indy's defense against Lamar. So I guess I'm leaning towards Ryan.
Yeah, I think I would too. I think the Ayuk thing hurts. But if Aaron Jones plays, I think Ryan wins for sure.
Nice. All right. Last one. Seth against Mustache ... Goody is trying to play spoiler here a little bit. Again, he's putting together kind of a serviceable lineup. He's boomer bust with Mike Williams, who I regret dropping. Brady on Monday night against the guy Sunday night against the guy who he's competing with for the all-time touchdown record. I mean, he could show up. Jeff Wilkins, I don't like him. I don't like the matchup, but I like the skill and his what he's doing.
Jordan Wilkins,
thank you.
I wanted to say Jeff
I'm not
too.
supposed to know his first name.
Jeff was a long-time kicker in the league.
There you go. Love Jonnu Smith. He's my guy. And then Gronk is ready to Gronk time.
Yeah. That's what I was saying too. Like, he's not packing it in. Don't love that he's starting two tight ends, but if you're gonna start two, those aren't two bad guys to do it. But yeah, Jordan Wilkins got 20 carries last week. If he's gonna get 20 more, that's a good play. I wonder if maybe he thinks about going Cam. I know Cam, the Patriots have been kind of a wreck, but they're playing the Jets, who are the laughing stock of the league. So, I don't know. I think I would go that route. But if Breeze and Brady get into a shootout, and we talked about that too, it's fun to have guys in prime time on your team.
Yeah, I think with Antonio Brown showing up, I'd go with Brady here. I'd go with Brady. Yeah. Cam hasn't proven to me that he's got it yet. He had a pretty good game last week, but he had the turnovers too. So
yeah,
I'd lean Brady.
Go ahead.
Should we go over to Seth? Rodgers to Adams, Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
And then he's like we said with the running backs earlier, he's doing it with smoke and mirrors. Something called Justin Jackson, and then the ghost of Adrian Peterson. I think he made an underrated pickup with Keenan Cole today, so that was a nice pickup. He's actually the Jaguars' leading receiver, if I'm correct on that one. So Seth is hoping Rodgers stays hot, hoping Adams stays healthy, and he's got a chance, man. Seth is a legitimate threat to be a playoff team.
Yeah, for sure. I think, it seems like I'm always talking about this with him, but this year I think is different with Seth. I don't think I'd have done things any differently. You don't want to buy too early. You definitely don't want to sell too early. So I don't know what trades he could have made, but I feel like he could have done some like tire patch type moves to get guys, you know what I mean, that may be a little more valuable than, like you said, the ghost, Adrian Peterson, stuff like that. One thing I did notice about Seth's lineup, his defense scores consistently well. They're all keeper eligible, every single one of them. So he did a good job of finding nice guys that score points in the keeper rounds for defense. So Seth usually drafts a pretty good starting roster, but, with the injuries he's had at running back, and then Adams was out for a while, it's been kind of up or down for him. But like you said, he's hanging right in there. So good for Seth.
He's gonna miss Kenny Galladay. He does have Jarvis Landry on his bench, but it's Landry's on a bye. I guess if you had a bye 1 week, this would be the week that you'd want to do that when you're up against Mustache. But if Galladay was having a wide receiver one season, like Seth's right up there. It's interesting. Like, you can kind of track. I always wonder, like, well, I know that we kind of get into the game of let's trade our top 1, 2, 3 third-round picks for these studs. There's some teams that never do it, and those teams are all right. Like, it works out for them. I always wonder, like, what would happen if nobody traded their first couple picks and how that would affect the league. But that's for philosophy class and not here. I think Seth wins. I'm hoping that he doesn't, so that we could have just a real logjam at the top of that division. But Rodgers and Adams are just their classes above everybody else and going right now in this matchup.
And if Aaron Jones doesn't play, he's going to throw him the ball probably 25 times.
Right. And the Cole pick was really good. I think if Phil wants to join us again for another show, I think the waiver wire stud award, that's where I'd lean to right now for that one, that category, the Cole pickup. So
right.
I'm giving it to Seth before.
You're calling your shot.
Calling Seth's shot.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love it.
Should we do a little trivia?
If you got some, yeah, bring it.
Sure, I can. Give me 30 seconds here, man.
All right, anytime.
Tell a story.
I just want to say thanks to everyone that reached out about my grandpa. He did pass away last week a week ago tonight. But the way it went and being there with family was exactly where it needed to be. And, it was definitely not like a sad type of situation. Obviously you're hurt, but it turned into a celebration awful quick to honor a man that, touched so many in almost 87 years of life. So thanks to everybody for that. But glad to be back on the show, obviously, this week. So
yeah,
and back in my normal spot too. Been 3 weeks.
That's true. You're not on the couch, are you?
Been 3 weeks since I recorded from here.
All right. Name. You want some trivia?
Sure. Yeah. Bring it.
Name the only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Name the only top 8 quarterback for fantasy points who's not rostered.
Top 8 fantasy, not on a roster. That is a good question. I feel like this might be a trick question. Like, maybe it's Fitzpatrick?
Nope.
Okay.
And I'll adjust the question. He is actually a top 7 quarterback because he's number 7.
Okay.
In terms of fantasy points.
I'm trying to run through the divisions in my mind. I don't know.
Somehow trivia always gets back to me. I just dropped Ryan Tannehill. He's number 7.
Oh, I didn't see. I assumed he was on a roster.
No,
you suck.
He's on waivers until 7. Should we do one more?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry for stumping you.
No, that's good.
All right. Name. This should be easy. Name the only 2 teammates in the top 10 of the wide receiver category for fantasy points?
Oh yeah, it's gotta be Thielen and Jefferson, right?
No.
What?
Jefferson does not make it.
In the top 10 for receiving. All right.
Top 10 receiving fantasy points.
Okay. Jeez. How about no?
You were close. Let me count you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's gonna be
Jefferson is 17th. So Thielen is in the top 10, but Jefferson was 17th. The two NFL teammates on the same team in the NFL were in the top 10 for receiving fantasy points.
Wide receiver only?
Yep. They're both wide receivers.
Because I was gonna say like Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, but
you're gonna kick yourself.
Hopkins and Kirk?
Christian Kirk is not in the top 10.
I wouldn't think so, but I'm trying to.
You're in the right division.
Oh yeah, DK and Lockett. Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Easy.
Oh man, Mike is tired this week from the time change. I am too, and so we can catch him on some trivia. All right, maybe next week you bring the trivia heat.
All right, sounds good.
Even though I'm just pulling these out of the whatever. All right, man. Should we wrap this up? Somehow it didn't cut us off.
Good.
But it says it's still recording, so good. All right, good luck, everybody. Right. Stay healthy.
Yes, stay healthy.
9-0 is only a couple heartbeats away.
If I'm not 9-0 by this time next week, then it's a colossal upset.
Facts. Hey, we made it to the division games. Didn't know if we'd make here, so thank goodness. We're lucky. We're blessed. Have a great week, you guys. We'll chat it up in the message board there, the old Facebook Messenger.
Yes, sir.
All right. Happy election.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man, I always stop.